I came through New Orleans on a road trip in 1998. Just thought it was going to be a stop and, drove into the Garden District and just said to my friend, well, I have all my stuff, so I'm going to just move here.
I'm from Texas, I'm from Houston originally. I never thought I'd only live 5 hours away from home. That was not my plan. As a traveler, I've been all over the world and I've always thought, I'll just live some faraway place.
New Orleans is far away.
It is,
Far away from a lot of other ways of life. We started doing this project, the Music Box, as an experiment. We moved from the idea of building a space that would have performance and music in it to, it's not that it held the musicians and the musicians played their instruments, they literally played the house. And it was a moment that was like a bing. So the village kind of works in a couple ways. We have public opening hours where like anybody can come and be like, ooh, what's inside here?
If you build something that has a couple of, parameters around it to keep people focused, but is improvisational in nature, you're going to be overwhelmed by the amount of attention that people are willing to give that. People want to have a hand in creativity here. They don't want to just be created upon.
But then we have these outstanding concerts where musicians from many different backgrounds and genres do their take on the musical village. We just thought we were making this weird thing, and next thing we knew, there were newspaper reporters, there were famous musicians, and then there was a public that was broader than any public I had ever come to any art show of mine ever. Little kids from the neighborhood, families from the suburbs. It's a real pleasure to watch people at all walks of life really dig in and enjoy and lose themselves for a minute.
There's a lot of history and a lot of rhythm and routine to a lot of things here. And if you bring any new ideas, provided that they respect that history, there's a tendency for people to really promote what you're doing and really jump in and put their 2 cents in.
Starting a business in the city, at the very beginning, even just to build this one musical house, it was really big for a fledgling organization. And I remember just being able to call the museum. Non-existent. I called the museum and the head curator agreed to meet me. Or I needed something from the city and I wrote to them and they wrote back.
And that's really where the small town aspect of living here makes a huge difference.
You can really have a life here outside of your work. I mean, we work extremely hard, no doubt. We work very hard, but there's lots of life to absorb. In the last year, I bought a house, had a baby, and got a giant new business reality. And for me, having a child in the city is like a gift to give my little girl. Whether it's the second line parades or Mardi Gras, which is a time when the entire city dresses up for make-believe. And what could be lovelier for a little kid? It's really about letting a child grow up in a magical place. The whole city is kind of magic to me.
The thing that really roped me into being in New Orleans was going to a second line, and it was that intense amount of community level creativity that wasn't sanctioned in a community theater environment or community orchestra environment. It's just free expression out on the streets. And the fact that that's happening all the time for artists like us, man, you can't put a price on that.
We have a big property, it's certainly not full. The idea is to really be like a living artwork here in New Orleans, like a real village that grows, through one new musical house at a time and hopefully become like a kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but like a landmark destination for people visiting the city.